Hello gamers! If you didn't know, a new gacha game, Heaven Burns Red, recently just launched worldwide. So let's talk about it. Okay, originally I wanted to make a video recording my reactions to the game since, it's gonna be my first time ever playing it. But since I was so sick, I kind of put off on doing that because I could barely even speak. My voice was just completely dead. Yeah, I still downloaded the game and played it, so since I put off on making a video, here we are. I'm gonna be here summarizing all my thoughts and first impressions on this game. So yeah, here we go. Prior to downloading this game for the first time yesterday, I actually have heard of the title Heaven Burns Red before. I think it was when I was browsing for games to play on Steam or something, and I came across this game. I was like, whoa, this cover art is amazing. I love the art style. I really want to play this. But then I clicked into the actual Steam page and it was all in Japanese, so I was just like, oh, I can't read this. So yeah, I ended up not playing it because of that, but at the time, I remember thinking, man, if this game ever gets a global release, I'm definitely playing the crap out of it. And here we are. So, first impressions, wow. The art style is gorgeous. I don't know about you, but there's something about it. It's just the colors and everything. It kind of reminds me of the art maybe in like X Asterisk or like Nian's E2 from Arknights. I know, oddly specific, but it kind of reminds me of that. I like the art style. It's really unique. And the character design for each character, it's just top notch. We'll get into more of that later. Okay, so first things off, I'd say when I first downloaded the game, I wasn't that surprised seeing that most gacha games do have like a visual novel style story presentation. So yeah, this game is sort of just like a visual novel with some turn-based combat. Kinda reminds me of Persona with the fact that you can have bond events for different characters to raise their bond levels, which can benefit each of their cards, or they call it memorias. And also, in this game, you also have free time events where you can raise your stats, and that's also kind of important too because some bond stories are locked behind stat walls. And along with the whole calendar system, classroom segments, and free time events, kinda reminds you of something, doesn't it? Anyways, the gameplay itself, as in the turn-based fighting game, isn't anything too special. All you do is turn-basedly fight cancers. Yeah, they're actually called cancers. Okay, anyways, one thing I actually like, not exactly about the gameplay, but I like that when you level up a character, all of their memorials are leveled up. Like, you level up the character as a character, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that's kind of neat, because, if you get a new card for a character, you don't have to go spending all that resources building a new card again. Instead, the levels are like carried over for all of the memorials for the same character. So yeah, that's cool. In terms of Gacha Rates, because once again, we're playing a gacha game here, I honestly think it's fine. I've seen people complain about it online, but from what I've heard, right now it takes 150 pulls to spark a featured SS, which I've heard is an improvement from the JP server, so that's cool. I guess they're being quite generous with the gacha currency and free SSs right now because of the launch celebration, but so far, it doesn't seem that predatory. And also, they gave out 2 free monthly passes, so yeah, that's a W. Huge dub. Seems pretty generous, right? And also, one more thing I want to mention is the schedule. I've heard that they're trying to accelerate the schedule because in EN launch, they released 47 SSs. Forgive me if I got that number wrong, but all in all, what I'm trying to say is that when JP launched, they didn't have this many SS cards. But apparently for Global, they added in some SS cards that JP had over the span of a few months, and they put it all on launch. So maybe they're trying to accelerate the schedule to match JP, or at least bring it closer to JP. I kind of want to see how they'll be able to do that. So yeah, kind of looking forward to that. I don't know if that's something I should be looking forward to, but anyways, yeah, it'll be an interesting watch, certainly. Well, moving back on track, let's talk about the characters. Okay, the first thing I thought when I saw the whole list, the whole cast of characters was, wow, that is a whole lot of characters. So I was actually initially skeptical on if they would be able to flesh out every single character. They managed to make every single character have a part in the main story, I guess, so that's really interesting, or so I heard. I feel like every character has a very distinct design and sort of basic personality to them, so that's cool. That's already a step above some other gacha games. Including the characters, I love the effort in world building. It's such a nice touch to the game. It makes everything, the backgrounds, just generally more natural, I guess you could say. It makes it feel more alive. It's nice to see how each character interacts with other characters and their squad dynamics. And also the fact that all characters actually appear in the game as background characters in the daily life segments. I mean, you can't put those 3D models to waste, right? You could just be walking around the school and overhear their conversations like some kind of stalker. And honestly, that gives us a lot of insight into each of the character dynamics, which is something I love to see. Not a stalker, by the way, or maybe I am. So far, I actually really like 31C as a squad. I love the mad scientist girl. Her design is really good. And oh my god, you can't forget the main character. Ruka is literally the biggest troll of all time. I love the visual novel elements and how you can actually choose your answers and have it affects other characters' dialogue. It feels like you can actually choose your route in a visual novel game. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, the UI of the whole game is pretty clean. Everything is relatively easy to navigate, but you know, there's one thing which is kind of annoying, is that you need to back out to the home menu every time you actually want to do things like rewind time. It's kind of annoying. Moving on to the music, I feel like the music in this game is decent. I mean, I feel like good music is sort of the standard for most gacha games nowadays. You know, just look at the whole lineup. Look at every other gacha game there is. You have Arknights, which is made by a music company, Blue Archive. Look at all the Hoyoverse game, Honkai Impact, Genshin. But although the music in this game doesn't entirely stand out like the ones I've mentioned, I feel like so far there are a few tracks that I really like. For some reason, the day and nighttime menu music, whatever, reminds me of Tsukihime, and I honestly have no idea why. It's just the vibes, I guess. And I feel like the gacha screen music is really calm and nostalgic, and I like the feel of it. Sometimes I just linger on the gacha screen even though I'm not gonna pull, just to listen to the funny music. Okay, so lastly, in terms of story, I don't think I've progressed far enough into the story to give a judgment on it, but so far, I really like the tone the story sets for itself. But before I get more into that, let me mention the localization of this game. Oh my goodness. The localization, I swear, this game sets a pretty high standard, especially compared to the localizations for the other gacha games. All of the jokes I've seen so far make sense, and yeah, there are a lot of sussy commented crazy moments that definitely translate into English and make pretty much perfect sense. I mean, localization is definitely something important considering how story heavy this game is. Probably 80% of the game is the visual novel segment, so yeah, it makes sense why the localization is so good. But yeah, I feel like they definitely made the most of their budget with all of the CGs, and look at all the sprites. 3D models for every single character. Like, bro, their mouths move when they talk. What is this, Persona 5? As for the story itself, personally, I haven't even finished chapter 1. It's a first impressions video, okay? To me, so far, it seems pretty slice of lifey, and I'm okay if the story stays like this. I feel like it's really entertaining to see all the different character dynamics. I really wanna, just explore each character more in depth, but of course, there's a main story to be followed, all the cancers and stuff like that. For now, it's pretty chill, but who knows, maybe it might have a tone shift later on, maybe it might become super depressing, or it might just stay like this. But honestly, I have no problem with that. It's pretty entertaining so far, and considering that the story was written by Jun Maeda, I do have high hopes for this game later as I play on to chapter 2, chapter 3. If I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this game does not feel like a gacha game. It feels so premium with all of the aspects I've mentioned in this video, especially the whole vibe of the game and the art, the story. You can see there's a lot of effort put into this. It feels like a passion project more than just a commercialized gacha game made to steal your money. I guess that summarizes my thoughts from playing the game, the beginning of the game so far. Definitely, I'll be sticking around for this game because I feel like this might just be the best gacha game of 2024. No cap. Is this better than ZZZ? Wow. Yeah, honestly, I like this more than ZZZ. I guess I'm kind of like the visual novel type. I like reading stories, so yeah, that's good. Anyways, that concludes today's video. I guess this was more of a discussion video more than just gameplay. I'll have some more Limbus Company videos on the way. So yeah, with that said, bye guys, and see you all in the next one. Bye!